If there's anything in life that really fucks me off, it's virtue signalling. But it gets worse when it's celebrities, the rich and powerful, the people that can actually do something about what they're virtue signalling for. But they don't actually virtue signal for the actual people they're talking about or the occurrence that happened in the past. They do it for themselves. They do it to be in a newspaper. They do it to make themselves look really nice and all that. There's a particular gentleman that I have a severe disdain for that may actually get me in a bit of trouble with some YouTubers that follow me right now. The person I'm talking about is Prince Charles, second in line to the throne for the royal family. Prince Charles, I don't know if you know about much history, but Prince Charles used to have a wife called Princess Diana. This is for the younger viewers, okay? Princess Diana was killed in a motorway accident in France quite a few years ago. It's got to be around 20 years, I reckon. I can still remember exactly. It was one of those things that you can remember exactly where you was when you heard about it, that kind of thing. And ever since Princess Diana's death, we've heard exactly the way that Prince Charles treated Princess Diana. Now, taking a point, that was his wife. He treated her like total scum. And there's proof of it as well. Well, this Prince Charles has now gone to The Guardian and done an article or an interview about the transatlantic slave trade and how Britain was so bad to do it and all this kind of jazz. Now, of course, the transatlantic slave trade is, or was, a really nasty thing. You know, I'm not going to fucking deny that it either happened or it's bad. Of course it's bloody bad. But here's the thing. He's apologising for the country for doing it. But it was only the rich and powerful that actually had the slaves in the first place. People like you and me didn't have slaves. And the chances are people like you and me in the past wouldn't have wanted slaves. But these are the same people from the same families that started the slave trade, brought over the slaves, had them in their houses, cleaning their shit, cleaning their houses and all this sort of bollocks for nothing. These are the people that are now coming out and virtue signalling about the transatlantic slave trade. And that's what fucks me off, you know. We all know about what happened with the slave trade. We all know how bad it was. But there's no person in this country or in this world right now that had anything whatsoever to do with the transatlantic slave trade. No one in this country. Now, I haven't read the full article yet of what Prince Charles has said, but I can near enough guarantee that he would not have stated that it was Britain that stopped the transatlantic slave trade. Stopped it dead. There were people that protested in this country to get it stopped. There were white people in this country and in America that died to stop the transatlantic slave trade and to stop slavery, full stop. But no one wants to talk about that. They just want to talk about some rich, powerful people up top that started the slave trade in the first place. And that's the thing that fucks me off. There's nothing wrong with history. There's nothing wrong with telling people what happened. But there's no point in bringing it up for the sake of bringing it up. Why would you need to? Don't you think there's enough race tensions out there already without bringing up this stuff? There's not one black person on this earth today that was a slave. And God forbid that there's never ever going to be a slave again. So to virtue signal like you're some sort of special person and you're such a lovely person for doing it, fucks me off. When it was your family in the first place that had the slaves. It weren't people like me. It weren't people like my next door neighbour. It weren't people like my friends or any of my family. Just commoner people. You're the rich and powerful. Always have been the rich and powerful. But you want to do a Guardian article about the transatlantic slave trade and how bad we were in Britain. How about fuck off?